Okay, Dad. When we're making videos, you don't answer the phone. All right. Um, all right. So let's go. So then Jay and Doc would sleep out in the cellar because there's two double beds. When you'd go there in the summer, you'd sleep out there in the cellar room as well because of
Yeah,
the coolness and all that, and just all three of you would just make that work.
yeah. I'd sleep with Jay, and Doc would have a bed by himself.
Okay, that's very cool. So one thing that so Doc's really the only one that had a job, right? Out of all of them, Jay got a small pension from the Navy. He slipped and fell in Chicago, broke his knee, so he couldn't do anything, couldn't serve, but he did get an honorable discharge and that kind of thing. So he got a pension. So Doc was the one that really made the money for everybody on the farm. And Doc was an engineer on the
CNO River.
CNO, right? Um, so tell me about that. So I mean that's a lot of people to feed and furniture or whatever else. So tell me a little more about Doc, his money, and how he would use it.
Doc spent all his money really taking care of the family.
Hmm.
When he passed, Dad had to bury and take care of all the final expenses for Jay, for Doc,
Huh.
Dixie, um, and I'm not sure she may have helped on Lucy's.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. So he had to pay for all their funerals.
He had
And
to help her pay for them
right.
because Doc's apparently all of his money had been spent taking care of everybody else, and he didn't have any real savings himself. I know Dad sold some timber to pay for some of the expenses.
Dad sold timber from our farm or the Blaine farm?
Blaine farm.
From the Blaine farm. That's very interesting. I do wonder how much money Papa had to invest in Blaine or to help Blaine out at times. People at that Blaine for different things. Um, yeah, and then Papa got Blaine or paid for Blaine $3,000, if I remember right. That's what he paid. He paid.
Paid who 3,000?
I don't remember who he paid. I thought he had to pay 3,000 for it. And the thing was, he had to. The rule was to keep Dixie there. I think that's right. That sound right?
I don't know who he paid and who he didn't pay.
Okay.
I know Blaine's wife, Luella, was upset because she didn't get any money for Blaine's part. But for the most part, all the brothers and sisters, they did not want the farm broken up. And so what they did was deed it to the youngest grandchild, which was Ted. So that's how he wound up with the farm. And now I know that Dad did pay some money to, I don't know which brothers or what, but I think most everybody deeded it all because they wanted to own one.
All in one spot.
Yeah.
And the reason Ted was chosen was he was the youngest grandson.
Right.
Huh. That's cool.
Now the land across the street, across the creek, I think it was about 80 acres over there. That was also jointly owned by Dad's half brothers.
Oh, the older generation.
Yeah, John
Kenneth.
A's. He had 4 sons,
Yeah.
and apparently there is a deed. That deeds all of it to Doc, all the land across the creek, and then, of course, then Doc deeded it to Ted, so he wound up owning that too. And that's something I just discovered in the last few months.
How'd you discover that?
Apparently Sherry was going through some of the stuff from Mother, and she apparently had a deed from Doc to where everything was deeded to him. Evidently, Mother had the deed
Right.
in some of the old stuff
Right.
from Blaine.
That's very fascinating. Very fascinating.
So,
All right. Who was the best hunter out of the boys? Do you know who the best hunter was?
I know Jay was a good hunter.
Was he?
Yeah. The only thing they hunted, though, was rabbits and squirrels.
No deer or nothing like that?
Not any deer.
Wasn't any deer. No, so just squirrels and rabbits and small game stuff.
Possums and
Okay. Were any of them singers?
what?
Could any of them sing?
Sing?
Sing. Did any of them ever? Y'all ever
No.
sing out back as a family or do anything like that? Or
No, not that I'm aware of.
okay. All right.
Now, Blaine had he liked to sing around the house and kid around,
Right.
but
So what was Blaine's personality?
he was a great person to be around. I spent a summer up there in Columbus, and he and I used to go bowling. We'd do a lot of things, kid around. And he and I and Luella, of course, Blaine didn't have any children, but Luella's wife, we would play cards a lot. And they had a nice home on the same street as the governor, her mansion.
You told me that. Yeah, that's right.
And
Sorry.
Blaine was probably the best educated of the boys. I don't know where he finished high school or not, but I know he worked in sales a lot.
And then Luella, did she die young?
No,
So Blaine, no, never
Blaine
mind.
died before she did.
Okay.
She was dean of women at one of the high schools there in Columbus.
How often did you see them come down to?
Blaine,
Yeah.
oh, he would come down every 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
I didn't see him that often.
Right.
But when I was standing over there taking care of my grandmother, I was 15 years old and didn't have my driver's license.
You were
And-
driving all around.
Huh?
You were driving everywhere.
Well, Blaine came down and gave me the keys to his car and said, gave me a couple bucks and said, go up to Louisa and get you some ice cream, get you a big cigar, and have some fun.
That's awesome. How often did you guys go over to Blaine?
Probably every month or two. Always looked forward to going over there on Sunday because you never knew who was going to be there. Chess and his family, maybe Bob and his family, and Blaine would come in every now and then. And so you never knew who was going to be there. You could have 10 people for lunch, or it could be 20.
Wow.
And they had a big screen-in porch and a big table that would seat probably, 12 or 15 people.
Wow. Who was the best cook?
Oh, Dixie.
You said her biscuits were unbelievable.
They were. Made them with yeast. They were just melt in your mouth.
Huh. What, I bet they canned just a lot too. I bet she canned a whole lot.
She did.
Yeah. Canned a whole lot.
I was, in those days, everybody did.
Yeah.
Nobody canned any more than my mother did, though. I'll tell you, that woman.
I could see that. I could see that.
She had that cellar full of stuff. And she was in Calixburg. We had to throw, I don't know how many. Ted and Bill and I threw away and threw away and threw away. She had, how many cans that were 10 years old. We were afraid of getting botulism if you opened them.
You're talking about that white cellar behind the main house, or the cellar behind.
Yeah, she had that full.
Yeah, she had that full.
Green beans and beets.
Yeah, it's wild. I remember being in that room much, but didn't think about all that was in there, and how long it had been there, and how long she been doing that. She loved to be on the garden. She loved working the garden. What else about Blaine? Anything else about Blaine we should get tonight?
Huh?
What else about Blaine? Anything else we should get about Blaine?
Well, they never had, at least I remember, they never had very many cattle. They did have a pair of horses.
Didn't have horses?
They had a pair of horses.
Okay. Remember their names?
No, I don't remember the name. They were workhorses. And they'd have a cow to milk.
One cow to milk?
That's all I remember, yeah. And Dixie milked the cow. But they had a dog that was very, very smart. English Shepherd. They ordered him from Colorado.
Really?
Yeah.
They ordered him from Colorado. How about that?
That dog would go up on the hill about 2 o'clock and wait for you to call the cow. And that dog would bring that cow off the hill to be milked.
That's funny.
And one time I was swimming in a little creek there by the barn.
Just a little passageway, yeah.
Well, there's a hole of water there. I was, I don't know, 6 or 8 years old. But it was about my waist. Bill and I were out there swimming one day. And the dog came up. His name was Rex. And I started throwing water on him. And he's running around the bank barking. And I kept throwing water on him. All of a sudden, he jumped in the water and started nipping me.
Yeah, really?
And I was stark naked. I ran all the way to the house. And Now I had bruises all over me, up and down.
From where he was nipping at you.
Yeah.
You butt naked running across Blaine.
He got me out of that creek.
Got you that creek. Hey, how deep was the creek behind the house? Like now, it's it's ankle maybe, But was it? Of course, I know it depend on the rain and whatever else. But usually, what was
3 to 4 feet was max.
3 or 4 feet was max. And did you catch any fish out of there?
Yeah, you catch fish, but they were rough fish, catfish and gars and turtles and
Nothing you really wanted.
nothing you want to really eat.
So
They catch sunfish and I mean, was more fish then than there is now. That's for sure.
sure. What was your all's favorite meals on a Sunday afternoon that Dixie would cook up? Like fried chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah. Expected that answer. Ham, of course.
Yeah. As they always had hogs, and so that smokehouse, a lot of times there's 2 or 3 hogs hanging in there, and you go out and cut a piece of ham off if you're going to have a ham, country ham,
Yeah.
or they shoulder meat, or they make sausage.
This is were these hogs that were on the land or that were bought?
What was that?
The hogs, were they on the land? Y'all killed them or were they bought
Oh, you raised them from pigs.
and slaughtered?
And, yeah.
Yeah.
Had them in pens. And fed them 2 or 3 times a day.
How long before you'd harvest one?
Oh, anywhere from 6 to 8 months on to a year.
Wow. Okay. How many chickens at a time would y'all have?
And Blaine,
Yeah.
they may have 100,
Oh, wow.
but those 100, a lot of times they get chicks, baby chickens, that were just a few days old, and raise them. They become pullets, and then you start eating them when they're about 8, 10 weeks old.
Huh. It's interesting to think through that. I mean, again, you think through the amount of supplies it take just to run the family from a food perspective. And and the water would come from the well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then the outhouse,
Yeah.
right? Where would you shower? The creek? Or just bring water up or what? Where'd you shower?
There wasn't any such thing as shower. If you wanted to wash, you go down the creek.
That's what I thought. That's what I was saying. You went down to the creek. Yeah. Okay.
If you wanted to, you could take a bar of soap with you. But then, just like shaving or wash your hands, you had a wash pan of water,
Yeah.
hang a mirror up on a tree or something, and shave there.
What it's hard to answer this one, but you've got a lot of great memories of a lot of great things that gone on, and I said to you before, I had the best childhood I could ever ask for. The way that I grew up with you and Mom and everyone at the farm was just unbelievable. And then be able to go to Maysville and have the small town life, and then go to city with you, and all that. It was just amazing. But there's no doubt. I mean, the farm is by far my greatest times of my life, for sure. But just curious with you, at Blaine, what are some of your greatest memories of Blaine?
Oh, one morning I went squirrel hunting and killed 6 squirrels.
By yourself?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Waded the creek, went across the creek, up on that hill.
I hope you weren't naked this time.
No, but I'd been over there the morning before and shot at several squirrels, didn't kill one.
Huh.
So Jay just gave me hell. So the next day I told him, I said, I want to take your gun, that 16 gauge pump. Because when I'd gone over there with was a 12 gauge. And I don't know, I thought there was something there with the shells or, anyway, I couldn't believe I missed all the squirrels. So the next day I went over with that Jay's pump, 16 gauge. And then I never will forget him. He met me after I just come back across the creek, walking up to the house. And he said, well, what'd you get? I said, how do you go over and shoot up hell and don't kill anything? So I dumped all 6 squirrels out. And then I had to go skin them to clean them to eat a couple of them. I don't want to eat squirrel now.
I had
Dixie makes squirrel gravy. I love the gravy.
had one more question. What was it? What was Papaw's shotgun that we?
Huh?
What was Papaw's shotgun that we have?
He had a double gauge, 12 gauge double barrel.
I've got a single barrel.
Huh?
I think I've got a single barrel.
There was a 20 gauge single barrel.
All right, that's what I've got.
You got the 20 gauge.
I don't know where the double
Bill
barrel.
had it. I don't know what it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think John's got it.
Oh,
Or
okay.
did.
I don't know.
He doesn't have it now, I'm sure.
I don't know. All right, that was good. Thanks, Dan.